Good morning, family. This is Ricky, and welcome to Hope for Today. It's the 6th of December, the year of our Lord, 2023. Happy Wednesday, family. How you doing? You holding on out there? That's Hope for Today. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 16. We're almost done with this book that we've been in for weeks now, right? Paul says, "At my first defense, no one came to stand by me, but all deserted me. May it not be charged against them." May it not be charged against them. Paul, most scholars believe, is talking about what would have happened 5 years before the penning of this letter, where he would have been required to go up and kind of present the gospel that he was teaching. And Paul here is lamenting the fact that all of these so-called colleagues in the gospel work did not come to stand at trial with him for this defense that he had, right? So he says, all deserted me. But at the end of his life, notice the posture of grace and forgiveness as opposed to bitterness and anger that through the power of the Holy Spirit, Paul is showing us here. This is another passage about forgiveness. It's interesting to me, right? Like the old adage says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And you know, there is, I think, license when somebody keeps hurting you, keeps betraying you, keeps messing up on you. I think there is license that I'm not going to do life with you. I'm not going to go deep with you because you've proven through your track record that you can't be trusted. I don't think the gospel calls us to trust people who keep on hurting us and to do life with people who keep on betraying us. So I don't think that's it. But how many of you know that even though we know it's wise not to do life with them, it's still not gospel to not forgive them? And Paul is saying, I may not do life with those people, but that doesn't mean that I don't get to have unforgiveness towards these people. The gospel ought to trump circumstances and give us the power to forgive. Now, some of you are saying, well, Ricky, if you knew who had hurt me, if you knew who had let me down, if you knew what my dad did, if you knew what my ex did and all this kind of stuff, and I get that and I feel that. But the problem is that you make an error to process forgiveness through feelings. Dr. Adrian Rogers, the great Southern Baptist preacher, said many years ago that forgiveness is not an emotion, it's a choice. That if you think that you get to forgive when you feel like forgiving, you're going to be waiting a whole long time. But the idea is to realize that if God could forgive me of my sin, I can forgive you of yours and let that thing go. And Paul says in the text, may it not be charged against them. Translation, I'm letting it go because I know God's going to let it go so I can move on with my life free and clear. There's some of us who have some unforgiveness with some people that we love, but here's your problem. Ever since you decided not to forgive them, your life hadn't been the same either. It's as if you got 17 bags of baggage on top of you, and God told me to tell you, let it go so you can walk freely and clearly in your life. That's Hope for Today. I'll see you next time.